The Alpenföhn Wing Boost 3 ARGB is one of the latest fan models released by the German manufacturer AKL, also known as Alpenföhn. In this review we have the high-speed triple pack of fans, which is priced on average at $60 or euros, depending on where you can get it from and if they are in stock. Please keep in mind that the $60 or euros price tag is for a pack containing 3 120mm fans. These fans are advertised as being good to work in any scenario, either as case fans or heatsinks or on radiators. However, in this review the main focus will be on the static pressure and the radiator usage. The Wing Boost 3 ARGB has a minimalistic design while also having some addressable RGB elements integrated within its construction. It is a different design approach for RGB inside the fan, especially when compared with what most of the market is doing at the present time. You can count on your fingers the amount of fans per model that uses a minimal amount of RGB. The RGB itself is present in the form of a ring that is placed on the inner edge of the fan frame. Obviously, these new fans use the new Addressable Rgb LED system, which has countless colors and patterns to choose from. Before we get involved with everything this fan has to offer from both a design and performance perspective, let's see what is offered in terms of accessories with this 3-fan pack. There is a user manual which is mostly present to describe how to use the RGB functionality, and of course you also have a 3-pin addressable splitter to connect all the fans to a single RGB header on your motherboard, or connect them to the next accessory item, which happens to be a SATA-powered RGB controller, which also has its very own remote for controlling the fans. Finally, there are a total of 12 bolts and screws included. That's 4 for each fan. The bolts are for installing the fans on the radiator, while the screws are for installing the fans on the case. The fan uses a total of 11 impellers to generate the airflow and static pressure. These have notches on the top side to reduce the air turbulence. In addition, the angle of each impeller reduces the total amount of load the rotor has to apply to spin the fan and thus achieve the same airflow at a lower speed. The system used is a fluid dynamic bearing, which has been used in pretty much all types of fans to this day. It is a tried and tested system and is known for reliability and low bearing noises. The Wing Boost 3 also has some interesting design choices. First of all, the reinforced frame structure that is visible on the edges of the frame towards the back of the fan. At first glance, it is just a design element meant to differentiate the fan onto the market. However, I believe that it serves a structural purpose, as these fans have a very rigid frame, while other fans can show a certain degree of flexing, especially if you twist them from the corners. The Alpenföhn Wing Boost 3 has nothing. This is a good way to showcase the great build quality of these fans. Other features, which are nowadays mandatory, or at least I hope so, are the rubber pads placed on both sides of the corners of the fan frame. This is done mainly to dampen any vibrations and prevent them from resonating within the chassis of your case, and also it offers a very good base for the fan to sit on, regardless of surface, be it a heatsink or a radiator. Oh yes, also if you install it on a radiator or on a heatsink, the fan will not scratch the fins. The connectors of each fan are pretty standard, with one 4-pin connector for power and one 3-pin addressable RGB connector for, well, the RGB. Fortunately, the wires of the fan are completely black on their entire length. Unfortunately, sleeving is nowhere to be found, which is a shame, especially at this price point. Before we move into the testing of the fans, here is a noise sample of how one fan sounds like, starting with its minimum rotational speed of 700 RPM and going faster until it reaches the maximum speed of 2200 RPM, which is a feature only found on the Wing Boost 3 ARGB high-speed models. I am doing this as the regular decibel reading for the sound. While still very useful, it is not taking into account unwanted noises caused by bearings or low build quality, or even in some cases, poor design choices. While spinning at maximum speed, the Wing Boost 3 reached a maximum sound level of 41 decibels, measured at the standard distance of 10 cm away from the system and fan. This type of noise level is not really surprising, considering the design of the impeller and the maximum speed that they have. I will also say that this noise level is adequate for a fan running at over 2000 RPM and having this price. In terms of performance on a radiator, the fans are tested using the Intel i9-9900K CPU, which is manually overclocked to 5 GHz and has a load placed on it with the Intel Burn Test V2 benchmark. All these while the rest of the fans inside the case are also spinning at their maximum speeds and the side panels are closed. For reference, the cooler used for all testing of the 120mm fans is the Cooler Master Liquid 240, which has its pump also running at the maximum rated speed. And in this test, the Wing Boost 3 reached a maximum temperature of 72 degrees Celsius with the ambiental temperature fixed at 20 degrees Celsius. This places the Wing Boost 3 around the same level as the Be Quiet Silent Wings 3 or the Arctic Bionics F12 fans. The addressable RGB system used in this fan is pretty simple. It uses the standard connectors for power and communication, so it will be compatible with all motherboards that have the 3-pin addressable RGB header. In terms of what patterns and light and colors it has, there are literally too many to show, but the overall effect is really good as the ring is visible from both the front of the fan and from the side. By integrating the LEDs within the fan frame, the light and colors are projected on all sides of the fan and into the front, thus creating a uniform look for the light. The Alpenföhn Wing Boost 3 ARGB high-speed triple pack is an interesting product. First, you get 3 fans which are all followed by a dedicated controller with a remote for the addressable RGB system. The Wing Boost 3 ARGB high speed offers a good performance, but it is not exactly silent. It can't be. With a maximum speed of 2200 RPM, there are very few fans that are silent, and those that are double or triple the price because the development cost for low noise output at high RPM is quite high. The Wing Boost 3 ARGB high speed is a good all-purpose fan that has a good build quality and good features. Unfortunately, there are some shortcomings. One of them is the lack of sleeving on the cables, which could have been done easily, and another one is the availability, especially for this high-speed triple fan pack, which outside of Europe might be difficult. If you liked this review, then perhaps you can consider subscribing for more, and also if you want to support the channel directly, then in the description below they are listed both the Patreon and subscriber star pages of the channel.